Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing tonight? Welcome to my channel and I hope you're having a good night. Thank you for joining me. I'm working on this journal, the Traveler's Notebook, where we're using up the paper pad. I've been working on binding it tonight. So I was going to show you on video, but it didn't work out. It did not work out. So I'm going to try to tell you what I did really quickly. This should be a quick video anyway, but what I do is, I have my pages together when I'm ready to bind. I make sure everything's right side up and in order, and everything's where I want it. And then I either use binder clips like this or paper clips to hold my pages in place. So I just put my paper clips on both sides here. Just paper clip it on. I kind of like paper clips if I can use paper clips better than binder clips, because sometimes binder clips will make a mark or an indentation or something on your cover, depending on what your cover's made out of. It may not, like on this cover right here, it might not make any mark, but like on a book, if you're using a book or a harder cover, it actually, I've had it almost make a mark or make a mark, so I was like, I didn't like that. So if I can use a paper clip like this with this nice smooth paper clip, I use that instead of a binder clip. And so I did that. I put my paper clips on there. I wanted to show you, I think I've shown it before, but I use this all with a very thin needle for binding, for poking my holes, my pokey tool. And I got it on Amazon, and I'll link it below this video. Hopefully I'll remember to do that. And it comes with this little lid, and I love it because I had a one that had a fatter needle on it. It was when I first started doing this, and I used it for quite a long time. I used it for years, but I just got to the point where I wanted a smaller hole. The first one I had, I just like, well, my husband has one, I'll just use his, but it was a regular, like a regular awl, it had like a handle that looks like a screwdriver, and it just made a bigger hole. So I got this one. I like the nice thin hole that it makes. And then I used book binding needles for quite a while, and I also said, well, I want a thinner needle because I got this tiny hole now that my awl is making, but my needle is actually making the hole bigger. And the idea with my little small awl is to have a smaller hole. I don't want to make it bigger. So I ended up shopping around for needles, and I found a pack of needles at Walmart called doll needles. And I know I've said this before, but in case you didn't hear it, or you're new to journal making, or to my channel, I got the doll needles at Walmart, and this is it's like a pack of I think 6 needles. This is the next to the biggest needle, and this has become my favorite right here. I have no problem getting wax cord through the eye, and it doesn't make my hole any bigger, and it's kind of nice and long, so it goes through all of the layers of book pages with no problem. So that's just my favorite little needle in all at the moment. So I don't know if I'll try to explain this without actually showing you, because I've already done it. But all I do is do 3 links of my string, whatever I'm using to bind the wax cord. I measure 3 links, 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 links. And then I put it in my needle, and I put my needle from the inside to the outside. So I go in to out and come through, go back through the top, in, the back, out here. So, and I'm holding my little tail here. When I first went in through the middle, hold my little tail, go in, come out, go into the top hole, and then come around, and I go back in my middle hole. Okay, so I'm going back out, so I'm out here now, and I come back out here, and then I go in here, and I come back up here, and then I tie it off. Pretty simple, right? I hope that made sense and it wasn't confusing. I don't think it was, but if you have any questions, you can let me know. Anything else that I do with this, I just make sure once that I get it all through that everything's tight. I feel my strings out here, make sure this is tight, make sure this is tight. I tie at least 2 knots, sometimes 3 here in the middle. If you're using wax cord, I try to make sure that, because if you're not careful, your wax cord will go through your other wax cord, and then you kind of have a little wonky little wax cord going on there. So when you're poking it back through, when you went in and you came out here, and you're coming back in and going back through here the second time, you want to make sure you don't sew through your wax cord. So that's the only thing I would be careful of there. Anything else? I think that's pretty much it, except for when I poked my holes, I don't really measure. Where's the middle? Okay, I think it's right here. Poke a hole. Eyeball about 3/4 inches from the top and 3/4 inches from the bottom. Poke a hole, and you're done poking your holes, right? I do use a little jewelry wrench to help me pull my needle through, and or push it through. That helps a lot, because your fingers, sometimes you just can't grasp that needle. It's a little slippery, and if it's giving you a hard time, and especially if you have quite a few pages, it might be a little bit hard to pull it through. So that little wrench will help you, the little jewelry wrench. If you do beading, I have a little jewelry set, tool set, and that helps me pull it through. So I think that's all. That's all I have to tell you about the binding. So what I've done as far as the pages, I had to bind it because I kept adding pages. So I said, I got to bind this because I'm just getting carried away here. So I kept myself from, by binding it, keep myself from adding any more pages. But what I did add since our last video was, you saw the pages, you saw the writing pages. I added this doily here. It's a doily, half of a doily placemat. Okay, so I wanted to use it in here, and it was too wide this way. So what I did was kind of cut the middle out, right down the middle. I kind of measured it so I would know where, where the edges would come out. You can see it right here. I cut the middle out and sewed the two halves together. And here you can see the stitching right here. And I like that. I wanted to use it, so I made it work, right? And then the other thing I added was, we're using up the paper pad. So I just took 2 pieces of paper and made a pocket. I just took 2 pieces of paper, cut them to the size of the pages, punched up used my circle punch here, and punched myself out a half hole. Sewed the 2 pieces of paper together at the top and the bottom with a little zigzag stitch. And so now I have a pocket here, and I have a pocket over here. Okay. In this pocket, I added a little, from some of my scraps, I made a little notebook. So I just took 2 scraps, cut them to the size that would fit in this pocket. And these are the same paper. That paper pad has 2 of each of the designs. So I used this one on the front, and the other one I used on the back, and just folded it over, and did some zigzag stitching there, and just put several strips of coffee dye paper in here. So now I have a little paper pad for my pocket. I did work on some more ephemera after the last video. Let's see, I've got one piece in here I just made from a strip. I made this strip. I corner punched it, and then this is a tattoo that I had put on this, and I just had it hanging out here in my craft room forever. It's on a piece of paper bag, brown paper bag. I put it on that, and I thought it's purple, and I wanted to use it. I've been making a few purplish journals with a lot of purple in them, so I was like, I need to use this purple happy. So I finally just put it right here, made a little bookmark, or you could do something on here. You could actually probably write on here, or put some coffee dyed paper on here and then write on there, or you could fold it in half and do something with it. But anyway, for right now, I stuck it right here. And I added, I added a little bit of lace in here. I wanted to add some type of trim, so I found this pretty lace in my stash that I think I received in Happy Mail. I either received it in Happy Mail or got it at a thrift store or estate sale or something like that. Anyway, it's right here. I put a strip there. I put it on like this. It just barely goes over the edge of the page here. It doesn't really even go over the edge of the page, but it kind of does just a tiny, tiny bit. And I just didn't want it to stick out beyond the book cover or the journal cover. So I have it here and here. So you can kind of see, if you look at it, you can see the pretty lace from the side, but it doesn't really stick out. So I like that a lot. You know, I like that it has some, like, it's like crocheted lace. You know, not real like lacy lace, but crocheted lace. So, but anyway, I just like it because it doesn't stick out, but I still have some lace in there. So let's see if that, I went ahead and put some charms on the strings. I've got a little bronze butterfly and a little bronze heart. I think that's all in here that I have to show you. So I'm at the stage now where I'm going to put in my ephemera. I'm going to decorate. And I thought we could do a couple things together. I might do most of it off camera, but I have a couple of little paper clips that I made. Kind of what do you call it? Altered paper clips. So both of these I made with, if you haven't done this before, it's a really good way to use up your stickers. These were both stickers on the front here, and I just took my paper clip with some cardstock here. This is cardstock on the back, cut in the shape of the circle of this sticker. Okay, so you just take your little cardstock, put your paper clip on there, and you glue it, glue and, you know, it's on there. You put glue on it and then put your sticker on there. And this sticker had a little, what are the little things that make it pop up, and double-sided tape or whatever. And I peeled that off because I didn't want that to be in my way of my paper clip or anything. And I just glued those two pieces together. And I did a video on this. It is in my videos. If you look up altered, you know, my channel with altered paper clips, it should come up. But anyway, here's one here that matched. Kind of has some purples in it. And this has some butterflies in it. I'm putting butterflies in here. And so here's a little butterfly one I made in that same way, except I added an extra piece of cardstock here. There's 2 circles, and then I put the butterfly on the front of that. And this one, let's see, I'm trying to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. Yep, I think I am. No, I didn't put 2 circles on this one because this one had a nice big circle on the back of the sticker, but this needed extra reinforcement here. So 2 circles, and then put the butterfly on the front circle. So I hope that makes sense also. But now I can just, you know, paper clip it on a page, and it looks like that. Nice little matching butterfly, and I can put this somewhere else. Oh, here's one more thing I did. I'll show you in a second. Let me just put this on here and show you what it looks like. Just make sure your paper clip or your sticker's right side up when you do this, so you don't end up gluing it upside down. But and that'll just look like that. It kind of just sits flush with the page, as you can see. Doesn't stick up or anything, and it's just a little decoration there too. And then you can tuck something under there. So those are really fun to make, and just was using up some of my stickers. Okay, so what I was going to show you on the music pages, the little cut-offs from my pocket here, little circles. I used a couple of them right here as a little tab on the music page that we folded over. There's one there. I sewed it on with zigzag stitching. And then the other side, I did the same matching tab right here. You can see it's a little tab. So that's fun. And so I did make some more scraps I'm going to need to figure out what to do with. I have these. Let's see, I will show you how many I have to use up now. I will show you. Not too much really. I've been doing pretty good using up the scraps from this paper pad. I don't want to, you know, waste any paper or throw any away if I don't have to. So these are what I have right now. I have been using some of the strips. I have a piece of coffee dyed paper, and I've been, as I get them, I cut the little hole out in the middle from the strip, you know, that you cut off, and so I ended up with these little short strips. So I'm gluing them on here. You can see they're all right here. I have to glue one on here and then I'll see what I do with it. I might just, you know, once I fill this space in, cut it even somewhere and make a little something out of it, a tag or something. And maybe some, you know, add some decorations on here, some collaging or something. But that's how I've been using my strips for right now. Got a couple of more of these to use, and these make good little tuck spots too. Like say you have a page here, just sew it or glue it right here, and then you have a nice little tuck spot right there. So those I'll probably do that with. Let's see, I'm still keeping this out in case I need it. I'm going to add, I think, some little collaging with these squares. They're little fabric squares, and I received some of these in Happy Mail, and some of them I made myself, but just pinked around some fabric and made these little squares, and they make great little, you know, decorations on a page, or collaging pieces, or, you know, layering pieces. So I'm going to use those somewhere in here, a couple anyway. I have some little pieces from my children's dictionary that I showed in my thrifted video, you know, treasures video, you know, my Tuesday thrifted treasures. There's one that says flower, and this one is about this bird, but it shows the bird and then it has the definition up here. So I cut out this whole square of definitions so that I could just keep the, I know I just wanted a square and just wanted to keep the whole bird, and I just thought it looked pretty like that. So I'm going to use those somewhere in here. And then these right here, these were cut, you know, cut apart page in the scrapbook paper pack. So I've cut them all apart now, and I'm going to see what I can do with these as far as decorating the journal. There's journaling cards, there's some words here, other little, you know, decorative pieces. This looks like a label, a little butterfly, more labels and journaling cards. Okay, so, and I also pulled out some little tags from, I make a lot of tags from my scraps, just plain little tags. Sometimes I put a string on them, sometimes I don't. I just like to keep them handy for tucking in a journal. I think they're fun, and I can decorate them, or I can put them in the journal for someone else to have fun with, to write on, to decorate, you know. Okay, and another thing I did with one of the pages from the scrapbook paper pack is I've been making ephemera folders, or ephemera folios, whatever you want to call them, to go along with my journals. So I thought, well, I've been making them out of file folder, and I thought, well, let me try making it one out of this paper, because like I said, this paper is a little thicker, it seems, than most scrapbook paper. It's not like it's not totally cardstocky, but it just seems a little thicker than just regular scrapbook paper. So I took 2 pages again, because I took 2 of the same pages, and so I wanted everything to match here. So I used this kind of for the cover, and I don't know if I'll decorate it or maybe leave it for whoever gets this journal to decorate right here, because I just thought that would be, you know, I just think that, you know, instead of me having all the fun, that other people want to have fun with their journals too, and this would be a super cool place to decorate right here. And then, so then I did just like my ephemera folders I make with file folders. I made it out of scrapbook paper. I made 2 pockets here, and it's really cool how this turned out, because this piece doesn't match up, but this piece matches up perfectly with the flowers here. If you can see the division here, and then when it goes together, all the flowers are together. I didn't really even plan that. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And I thought, wow, that is really cool. This one doesn't match up, but it's okay. I really didn't plan on matching it up. So anyway, this is going to be a place to stick my extra ephemera that will go in, you know, goodies that will go along with this journal. And it's pretty strong. You know, it's not as strong as a file folder, but I still think it's really cool and pretty, you know, strong enough to hold, you know, all the stuff I need to ship along with the with this journal. So I don't know if I'll do some decorating now on video. Like I said, I don't know if I said it, but I meant to say that I don't want to make this video too long for you. So I know my videos have been long lately, but maybe I'll just end it here. And so I just wanted to update in case, you know, I have a lot of new people on my channel, and they say they're watching along and learning and things like that. So I didn't want to get too far along and not update you, so that you can, you know, if you're learning, you can see what I've done, and you can see it's looking very pretty and very chunky. I think I ended up with 20, 21, 22 papers. So that makes, if it's 22 papers, that makes 44 pages, or 88 fronts and backs, and that's a lot for this little journal. But you know, it squishes together pretty good right now. Of course, I don't have any tags or anything in there yet, but it squishes together pretty good, and I think it's going to be just really a lot of fun and really pretty. I mean, it's already pretty, but it'll even be prettier as I finish it up. So you know, I hate to not do my decorating on camera, but I just don't know what I'm going to do. I need to think a little bit more, and I don't want to have to be rushed through doing it on video. You know what I mean? I want to be able to take my time and think about it and make it really nice and pretty. So I'm going to let you go, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting. Thanks for watching.